Bud and Sadie been cooped up for a day or two down here in Bakersfield, so I'm going to take them on out here and let them run around a bit. It's pretty hot, so we probably won't stay too long. And we got to be real careful with the snakes this time of year, so hopefully we don't run into any of that. But we're just going to go out here and see what's going on and see how things are looking out at the ranch. They always get excited. They can smell it when we get out here. Bud. So we're getting close, huh, Bud? We get close. Just after 10, it's almost 90. A little warm out. Gonna go down here and check out the old North 40, I guess that's what we'll call it. At the far end of the property here. Don't come out here very often. I see a lot of tracks. I don't like that. I gotta talk to the neighbors out here about staying on the roads. That over there is not a road, and it looks like they've been running their razors. I'm gonna have to talk to them about that. Yeah, I don't understand this right here. The road's over here. Somebody's been tracking along this fence. It's nice and warm out though. I'm gonna go down here and check these telephone poles I got down here. Definitely ready for some moisture out here, that's for sure. A lot of grass that we got over the spring, and it's pretty dry right now. Definitely want to be staying on the roads around here. You don't want to be going off the main path. It's easy, be real easy to start a fire out here and burn all this up. That's not really what we're looking for. So I definitely got to talk to whoever's over there cutting along the fence, and then over here out in the middle of that pasture. I don't know what they're thinking, but I'm gonna find out. One of these days we're gonna have to go down there and get that one. I think there's maybe one or two more around here in these hills, and we're gonna recover them all. I got the other two that we recovered a few months back up here on the flats. That one ought to be a little tricky to get to. We have to get across that ravine down there. I don't know if we take it out that way it's way too steep to come over through here, so I don't know, we'll have to look at that one of these days. When it cools off, we'll start spending some more time out here like we did last year, and come up with some fun stuff to do out here. Well, it looks kind of barren out here without the old toy hauler. Last time we were out here is when we took that out of here. I can see the tire on the forklift's not looking too good. I gotta catch that thing, get some air in it before it goes completely flat, because then I'll have to take it off and run it into town and all that good stuff. The neighbor's got his grass fed off pretty well. I don't see the cattle. He must have moved them somewhere else. Here's those other two trucks that we recovered. Colin and I recovered these 3 or 4 months ago, and it's still got a little air in it. And we'll fire everything up, see, let everything run for a little bit. Everything's been sitting for a couple months. Just try to keep the batteries up and at them on everything. I know the battery's dead on that truck. I got to get a new one actually, so. I'll let Bud and Sadie out for a few minutes. You guys stick around here. We're messing around with the snakes. The old 690 John Deere. This was the first piece of heavy iron that I ever owned. I bought this from a guy down near Ventura. They had a construction company, and the dad retired. Thing looks really beat up, but believe it or not, it's got like 5,000 hours on it. They used it out on the pier actually a lot, and this thing's been really good to us. I haven't done a whole lot to it since I've had it. Just a couple little things here and there to keep it going. It runs great. I bought that cat bucket for it. And I mean, this thing's got all the power in the world. I think it weighs right at close to 70,000. So it's a good size machine, similar to the 290 that we have up in June Lake. But we're gonna fire this thing up. It's been a minute. Let's see how, if the, well, there's the key. I didn't take that key out, so I don't know who did that. I always just leave the key in it because I have a special cutoff switch that nobody knows about. Huh. Interesting that battery is dead, because those are brand new batteries. I don't know if somebody's been messing around with this thing out here. Yeah, definitely battery's dead. This thing never had a problem with the battery going dead, so I don't know who's been out here screwing around, but I've let this thing set for over a year and not had the battery dead on it. I can see the gas gauge moving. Huh. But I got no lights in the dash or any of that. Huh. Very interesting. Well, that was a no-go on that. I got to figure out what happened here, because this thing, it's got brand new battery and I've never had that before. So to me, that says somebody was out here messing around with stuff. Because the key was out of the ignition too. I normally just have the key in there. This one here, I see the light. Let's see if it'll fire up. No problem there. Yeah, that's got me kind of wondering there. Sadie just can't help it. She's got to go. It worries me too, because I know there's snakes out here. So I just got to keep her from going out and snooping around in things she doesn't belong in. These trucks, they all work, but they're just so old. And I mean, like the tires, they all run, but I just don't know what to do with them. I'm thinking about scrapping them. That Ford, it's got a Detroit diesel in it. It actually was being used as a water truck way back when. It's got the pump. And then we've got a bunch of tanks out here, all kinds of tanks. So I could put those tanks back on there, and then, you know, run that pump and fill it up with water. And then this old crane, I mean, it's fully functional too. It's just, you know, I mean, at this point, some of these things we don't use them enough, and it's like, what's the point of having them out here, you know? I'd rather get the place cleaned up, and I got enough junk to worry about. Probably gonna go ahead and get rid of these. This was our campsite that we had last winter down here, or I guess last spring. But I got the off-grid pad that I built for the studio that we were thinking about doing, and we're still thinking about doing it, but you know, it all depends on the if we end up letting this place go or not. But if we do end up hanging on to it for a little longer, I'm gonna maybe take the trailer and put it up there for next year. That way it's got a better view. I think that'll be kind of cool. Everything seems to be not out of place. I'm pretty certain that I know who was messing around with this, and because I actually got a phone call about somebody wanting to buy it, and then, you know, it's one of the neighbors out here, and I told him, you know, I'm not selling that. It goes with the ranch. Like, whoever buys the ranch is going to get that. Same thing with the dozers over there. I mean, obviously I'll keep the 415, but the dozers and the old excavator goes with the ranch. And that was the last I heard from him. But then I come out here, my key is misplaced, and my batteries are dead on the machine, so I'm gonna have to. And I have a lot of tracks all over my property that I'm not real happy about, so I'm sure he watches the channel too, so he's gonna hear about it on the channel, and I'm gonna give him a call and find out if he knows what's going on with all that stuff, because not cool. I know somebody the other day asked if my family worked in the oil fields, and we never really did. I've done some work for the oil fields growing up, and with my company, but primarily, no, we don't work in the oil fields. But yes, we do call our ranch Oilfield Ranch, and that's because Bakersfield has a lot of oil fields. I'm pretty sure Bakersfield or Kern County is top 5 or maybe even top 3 in the United States for oil production. So it's definitely a big part of the economy down here. You know, this area here is farming, and oil field is the 2 primary industries, and those 2 industries generate a lot of sub industries and keeps this economy down here pretty strong. Robertson horse stables here, right down here by the Kern River. I actually grew up in this area, so I spent a lot of time down here as a kid. And the bluffs are right there. That's the panorama bluffs, they call them. And there's a bunch of houses up there. That actually used to be, like in Bakersfield, that was the one of the premier places to live. Probably back in the 80s, the 70s and 80s. It was a really, you know, high-end place, and there's some really cool homes up there. They're all older homes, but it's a real neat area. But as kids, we lived in Oildale, which is kind of where we're at here down in the bottom. They call it Oildale. And we would come out here all the time in the summer and find our way down to the river and, you know, just mess around down here, and it was always a lot of fun. Had a lot of good memories down here. And so I figured I'd take a trip down memory lane and see if we can't. The river should be pretty high right now, so it's flowing decent down, even all the way down here. So I figured maybe we'll see if we can find a spot where we can get to it, and I'll let the dogs get out and maybe let them get wet. Panorama Vista Preserve. So this is kind of a new thing that I mean, I don't know how many years it's been here, but definitely wasn't here when I was a kid. These trails, like this stables here, you can ride all the way up the river, quite a bit, pretty much all the way to Hart Park, and even further if you really want to. A little bit different terrain than what you see in Mammoth, huh? So I've talked about the Shark Tooth Mountain before, and there's a lot of fossils here. And you can see we're here. And Mammoth is way over there. It's not even on this map. But a lot of guys will come out here looking for these shark's teeth. The river was actually a lot closer than I thought. So it looks like we're gonna get to it. Let's go over here, guys. It looks like easier access. Come on. So this is kind of the back side of the stables here. And you can see that river. A lot of times it's dry this time of year, so it's pretty amazing to see this amount of water in it. I know Sadie's gonna get right in. This is awesome. And you'll see, I can remember riding horseback down here and crossing through this thing, but this thing's moving. Oh my goodness. Sadie, that's too deep for you guys. You're gonna get in trouble. Come on. Boy, she got right in. I told you she was going to. Come on, over here. Come right here. Sadie, right here. Gotta be careful. She's loving it. All right, here, you want to get a stick? Huh? Let's get your stick. Ready? Let's get the stick. Sadie, come here. No, come on. Come on, Sado, come on. No, I'm sorry. Come on. It's okay. Come on. Oh boy, that scared me. Okay, don't do that again, dummy. That was a dumb thing to do. Let's get on the other side of that. That was really stupid. Yeah, that scared the crap out of me. I almost had to jump in and get her. All right. You guys ready to go back? Come on. You got wet. You got wet. A lot of water, and it's moving swiftly, as you can see. All right, that was enough. That was enough drama for this morning. Let's get back to the car. Come on, Sadie. A little bit of Bakersfield history here. This is the back side of it's the Pioneer Village Museum. I have to go through here one of these days. Maybe I'll try to do it this weekend. I don't know what their hours are, but last time I was here was probably on a field trip in elementary school. Or maybe I think we might have brought the kids here one time when they were young. I've always been very interested in history and just old things in general, so places like this have always drawn my attention. Yeah, you can go through and tour it. Kind of a bunch of old homes and props and things from the just the old history of Bakersfield here. They do a lot of events out here throughout the year. So there's always some things going on here. It looks like a little daycare center or something here. I didn't know this was here, but I have no idea what that's all about. But definitely a piece of the Bakersfield history here. Clock tower there. That's not sure if that was relocated here. Yeah, it's the Kern County Museum, they call it now. It used to be called Pioneer Village, but I'm gonna check the hours on this thing, and maybe if I could talk Lori into it, maybe we'll come over here and take a tour of this thing, because I think people might find that interesting. This is the old ice house, another historical building that's just down from the museum here. So this furniture store here used to belong to, believe it or not, Ed that works for me. His sister and her husband owned this store, and they owned another one right up there. And Ed and I, when we were young, like 17, 18 years old, we actually worked at these stores, and we would sell furniture, and then, you know, we'd basically come in at 10 o'clock in the morning, open the store, sell the furniture all day, and then at the end of the day we would load up the delivery van and go out and deliver furniture for an additional several hours, and we did that for a couple years. This building's been abandoned for quite some time, but just kind of going through memory lane here today. Oh, they got washed their muddy paws off. Mom's gonna be happy about that. Come on. You wanna swim? Let's go. Come on. Come on, bud. Want to come on, Sadie? Swim? Oh no, she's gonna jump out. All right, everybody. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed the tour of Bakersfield today, and Bud and Sadie and I are gonna hang out by the pool the rest of the day. Probably do a little barbecue or something. Not sure yet. Go check out the store, check out the merch, grab something, enter yourself to win that Ranger, and we're gonna keep doing little videos and things like that, and we'll be out at the Mammoth motocross the week of Labor Day with that Ranger and our booth that we are going to set up out there, and we'll have a bunch of merch out there as well. So hopefully anybody that's in the area will be able to get out there and come see us in person out at the booth, and we'll all have a good time that week watching the races. And gonna go ahead and get this video out for you guys. Hope you enjoy it.